streaming software to catch. It's live now. We just needed to catch on Instagram.
Okay, but you know you're
What?
we're live, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, there we go. Going live. You gotta spread your fingers. It's three fingers.
Thank you.
All you need is this.
Here. Hmm. All right, 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 all right. See, where are we? Hey, Michelle, how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in. Let's have girl talk. Hey, Brittany, welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, beautiful divas, welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Shay, your girl, your love diva, Master Certified Love Strategist, voted top 5 love coach in the entire world. If you're just seeing me for the first time today, first know that I normally have my eyelashes looking normal, so let's try to get it together. If you're visiting me for the first time today, please leave your name, where you're from, and a heart emoji. That will allow me to love on you, welcome you, receive you. If this is your coming back, okay, you already part of the divahood, drop your name and your lipstick emoji so I know you're already part of the community. For those of you who don't know me, I am Shay Your Love Diva. I am a Master Certified Love Strategist. I've been voted one of the top 5 love coaches in the entire world, and I help women to up level so that they can be able to attract their high value, masculine, marriage minded soulmates. So come on in. We have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk and break down the science of attraction and how, based on your love archetype, you are dating to either sabotage yourself or you're dating for success. And I'm going to break it down and give you the keys to the kingdom so that you know what exactly is keeping you from the love that you want, so that you simply can know the way. So come in. Welcome. I see Claire. Thank you, Claire. Claire said, Shay, I found my man using your techniques and we've been 2 years together. Congratulations, baby. Congratulations. Dr. Salithia, did I say that right? I was listening to the video. Welcome, Suzanne. Welcome back to the Divahood. Cindy, yes, I am. First time being on your live. Welcome, Cindy. Where are you from, Cindy? Okay, let us know. Where are you from? We got Salithia from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome, baby. Michelle from Washington, Hampton, Virginia. Beautiful place. Hey, Queen. You've been needing my help, Tamika. Well, you're in the right place, ma'am. You're in the right place. I have a lot that I'm going to share with you guys today, and we only have an hour, so let's jump into it and let's get started. Now, listen. For those of you who are brand new to me and brand new to my life, I'm Shay Your Love Diva. I am one of the pioneers of love coaching altogether. I'm the science of attraction girl. I'm the one who invented a formula that works no matter your size, no matter your looks, how many kids you have. It doesn't matter, whatever your background or whatever you experience, I created a formula so that you would be able to attract high value love. You no longer have to settle. And the women that I work with and that I help are women that they're already doing life at the highest level, and they're like, Shay, just show me the way. Like, what do I need to do? How do I clear what is blocking me from the love that I want? And how do I have the specific steps so I no longer have to play the guessing game or risk getting hurt or disappointed or played or mistreated ever again because I have way too much to lose. So if that is you, baby, then you are in the right place. Now, here's the first thing that I want to ask you. How many of you has been single longer than 3 months? If you've been single longer than 3 months, put it in the chat for me so I can see exactly where we at. Okay? If you've been single longer than 3 months, I'm getting ready to show you something. Put it in the chat so I know exactly who I'm working with and what you're dealing with. Okay? In order for me to provide the top level advice that I provide for all of my clients and the women that I work with, then I need to take a temperature of exactly where exactly you are. Okay, some of you guys are coming in. All right, we got single for 8 years. That's a long time, ma'am. That's a long time. Okay, we talking about powdered milk. Who has been single longer than 8 years? 8 years, going on 8 years. We got a 13-year. Okay, we got 13 years on the board. 13 years on the board. We got a Brittany, been single for 5 years. That's a long time, ma'am, but it did not beat 13 years. Is there anybody in here going once? Okay, who has been single longer than 13 years? We got a 4-year, we got an 8-year, we got 1 year single. Single for 3 months. Okay, ma'am. Single for 12 months. That's close to 13, not quite beating 13. Is there anybody here that has been single longer than 13 years? That's a long daggone time. We got 9 years. Anybody else beat that going once? We got a 9-year, ma'am. That's a long time. We got single for a year. That's not quite 13 years. We got single 7 years. We got single 2 years. We got single for 9 years. We got a 10 years. 10 years is a long time, ma'am. Tamika, that's a long time, 10 years. However, it did not beat 13 years. 13 years, 15 years. Oh, my God. Ma'am, it gets rough sometimes. I get it. I know. Perez said it's been over 15 years. Right now, anybody who has been single longer than 15 years or longer than 15 years. Anybody else going for 15 years? Going 15 years, ma'am. Going once for 15 years. Anybody higher than 15 years? I see 16 months on the board, but I don't see anything greater than 15 years. Going twice. Divorced for 21 years, ma'am. But does that mean that you've been single, though, ma'am? Have you been completely single for 21 years, ma'am? We need to know. We need to clarify, ma'am. Anybody else greater than 15 years? Going once, ma'am. Going twice. So, ma'am, powdered milk and very tough, frustrated times for the 15-year on the board, man. That's a long time. That's a long time to be single when literally it is so easy when you have the formula to be able to attract the highest level of love. And I am here so that you no longer have to settle or date in the dark or be afraid that you're going to get your heart broken because there are so many men out here who don't have good intentions. However, there are a lot of good men out there that have good intentions, and I'm here so I can show you exactly what to do. How do you align with those type of men? How do you shift your blueprint, your patterns, so that automatically you attract those high value men who love pouring into you, doing for you, giving to you, and serving you? So what I'm going to do on this live is I'm going to teach you. You got 13 years. 13 years is still a long time, man, but it didn't beat the 15 years, okay? It didn't beat the 15 years. All right. So what I'm going to do on this live is I'm going to break down the science, because there are literally 5 phases to every relationship. And I'm going to tell you exactly the top mistakes that women make that cause them to get their heart broken, that cause them to remain constantly single over and over and over again. And what are the patterns existing subconsciously that are keeping you chronically single? Now, here's the thing, baby. I know that you are the bomb.com. I know that you are the queen and you can do it all by yourself, and you are dominating when it comes to your career and with your life and with handling your kids and handling your business. I know you're doing all that, baby. However, no matter how well you are living life as a single woman with the right man who is your best friend, your romantic best friend, then it is 10,000 times even greater on so many levels. So how many of you really want to have the keys so that you can be able to attract the high value masculine marriage minded men? Say I. If that's you, if you're the type of woman who you really want to attract that masculine high value man, just go ahead and put it on the chat, ma'am. Talk to me. You talk to me, I'll talk back to you. Okay. The more active you guys are, then the more information I give you. The quieter you are, then the faster I jump off this live. Okay? You quiet, I'm going to bed. How about that? Okay? All right. So here's the deal. Let me tell you how I first got started. I got started doing this by accident. I wasn't intending to become the #1 love coach in the world. That was not my intention. My intention was to become a pediatric cardiologist. I graduated from school, pre-med biology. I was accepted into medical school, and that was my intentions. What I experienced, though, that diverted me from that path is I experienced finding myself a single woman with a blessing in the form of a child. And when I experienced being a single woman who was smart and educated, and I thought I did everything right, and I realized that I let my daughter down because I was starting to repeat the same patterns that my mom experienced, that her mother experienced, and that her mother experienced. And that was the pattern of attracting narcissistic, abusive men. And so as I held my daughter, realizing that she was probably going to repeat these patterns if I didn't do something about it, I made a promise to her. I promised her that mommy was going to figure this love thing out. And I was going to show her an example of what healthy love looks like. And my only way of being able to basically keep my promise is default to what it is that I knew. Science is what I know. I love science. So I did a dating experiment where I went on a little over 100 dates in a little over 3 months. And I interviewed over 4,000 men, women, and couples. And I read hundreds of books on love, dating, and relationships. I read studies on the anthropology of attraction, the science of attraction, the psychology of how men pair bond. I was studying all of that because, again, I wanted to make sure that I kept my promise to my daughter, that I show her exactly what healthy love looks like. And this is what it led to me. This is the results of doing my experiment led to me. It led to me being proposed to not once, not twice, but 7 times. I was proposed to 7 times. And I went from getting played all the time to getting paid. And when I say getting paid, I don't mean I was out there walking in the streets, ma'am. That's not what this is all about. I went from men constantly taking from me, causing me to lose money. I lost my house because I chose the wrong man. I lost my car because of the wrong man. I even lost my career because of the wrong man. I went from all of that to men wanting to give to me, serve me, do for me. One man bought me a house. I got a car paid and clear. I was getting trips with my friends. They constantly wanted to take me shopping. They were constantly giving me gifts. I got tickets to the Masters, the Super Bowl, you name it. I was getting it. And it wasn't because of my looks, because I'm telling you, the information that I'm getting ready to teach you about works no matter your age, your size, the number of kids that you have. Whatever you have in your mind on why you can't seem to attract love, man, please just go ahead and delete it, because I promise you, I learned from my dating experiment, it's not true. Men aren't attracted to you or turned off by you based on what you think they are. I'm going to say that again. Men are not attracted to you based on what you think. And they're not turned off based on what you think. There's a lot of men who are very, very successful and who are very marriage-minded men who are choosing women who don't look the Hollywood version of beautiful, who aren't a size 1, who don't have any children. That's not what causes a man to choose a woman. And when I discovered that, it was like I discovered it by accident, and it was absolutely mind-blowing, because in my mind I thought that because I was a single woman in the form with the blessings in the form of children, I thought that I would be less desirable. And when I found out otherwise, my whole life changed. When I started to work with other women who started asking me for my help, because I started documenting my experiment and my journey, I started documenting on YouTube. And on YouTube, I would there wasn't a go live on YouTube. You had to do a video and let it stick. So when I posted a video, I said, okay, I'm going on a date with this guy, and I know I can get him to fall for me in less than 30 days. And sure enough, less than 30 days, he would come on camera and go on and on and on about how amazing I was, how he was into me, how it was so different. And women kept wanting to work with me. They kept wanting my advice, and I would teach them. And they came from all walks of life, from all races, all sizes, and it was working for them too. Just like the young lady, who was it earlier, that said that she got her man. It's been 2 years that she followed my advice, and she has her man. Ma'am, get for sure. If you follow what it is that I'm teaching you, it will work for you. You don't have to be frustrated anymore. But here's the key thing that I learned. I learned that, first of all, every man had a certain set of buttons. And when you started to understand what a man's primary needs were, and you knew how to push the buttons in the right order, then you can have any man, like literally be hooked, like wrapped around your finger. That's the first thing. The second thing that I learned is that every man has 4 insecurities. And then the third thing that I learned across the board is that there is a science to attraction. And if you don't understand what behaviors actually trigger him to be bonded to you, he may like you. He may like being around you. He might even love having sex with you. But he won't commit to you. He won't choose you to spend the rest of his life with. He won't be biochemically bonded to want to choose you as his wife, the woman that he wants to provide, protect, and truly be committed for. And just because a man marries you does not mean that he's biochemically bonded to you. Getting married is not the prize. Can somebody please put that in the chat? Because I really want that to stick in your mind. Getting married is not the prize, okay? Getting married is not the prize. Somebody put it in the chat. I'm a teacher first. And remember, if you talk back, I'll keep giving. Y'all go quiet, I'm going to bed. Getting married is not the prize, baby. It is not the prize, okay? There's a lot of miserable women that are married and they wish they could be anywhere else but married. There's a lot of women who are married. As a matter of fact, the statistics show, this is what the stats, the data, not Shay's data. This is what the data shows. The data shows that over 50% of marriages end in divorce. And of the marriages that are still together, 50% of those are unhappy. Okay? And then of the 50%, what are we at? 25% now? Of the 25%, then they're just, it's mediocre. There's no real passion at all. They are like, we're together. It's a partnership. It's not really a passionate love experience. So she doesn't really hate him. She's not really unhappy. She's just like, meh. She doesn't feel like her life is exciting with him. That's not her best friend, if you will. Okay? So then that means that less than 10% are actually with somebody that they want to be with, and even less than that where they're actually passionate, they're in a best friend, healthy partnership. What I am here to show and teach you is how to have your romantic best friend, that high frequency love that will pour into you to the end, okay? However, the way you start is the way you finish. That's the part that I need you to understand. The way you start is the way you finish. If you don't start right, if you don't understand that there's a science to attraction, and if you don't understand what actually triggers a man to want to be committed to you, to want to marry you, to want to choose you, to want to treat you right, then you're going to end up disappointed every single time. So let's get into it. The 5 phases that you must understand. And you can make it simplified, okay? The first phase is the attraction phase. Now, in the attraction phase, that's when he sees you. And you trigger his biochemical hormone to want to procreate. You trigger testosterone. And what testosterone is it says that when you trigger testosterone, that you're basically sexable. Like, he would actually have sex with you, is what the testosterone is for. The testosterone is his hunter hormone. So that's what drives him to hunt. That's what drives him to want sex. That's what drives him to want to procreate. It doesn't drive him to bond, though. So when he sees you, that means, ma'am, he wants your honeycomb. Okay? He wants those kibbles and bits is what he wants. Okay? Your moon pie. That's what he wants, ma'am. Your sugar scrub. Okay? If you try to romanticize that he wants anything other than your cheesecake at first, then you're going to end up disappointed. Okay? Because the driving him to want sex, even if that's not intentional, even if he's not like a slime bucket, he's not going to say like, I just want sex, but his body is driving him because he sees you as sexable. Okay? And so he's going to do the things necessary depending on his level of desire for you in order to get it, ma'am. Okay? In order to get your pudding pop. Okay? That's what he's going to do. Okay? Your honey jam. He's going to say the right things. He's going to send the sweet text messages. He's going to call. He's going to take you out on dates. He's going to do all the right things at first. However, y'all are hilarious. However, this is the reason why, baby, you have to understand what drives him. And you got to understand how it works. It's called a dating game, a mating game for a reason. And I have so many women that are like, I don't want to play games. I don't want to play games. Yeah. Don't play games, ma'am. Just don't. You're going to end up getting hurt. Because how are you going to know his intentions are real? How are you going to know he is who he says he is if you're not being wise and properly vetting him? So when you triggered that testosterone, it's basically game on. And here's something according to science that you need to understand, okay? Biochemically, you ladies were wired to fall fast. It doesn't take much for you to fall fast. It just takes your imagination and hearing the right things. And then you will fall in love with the potential of him. I'm going to say this again. Ladies, biochemically, you are wired to fall fast. You are wired to fall in love with the potential of him. He is biochemically wired to fall slow. He's biochemically wired not to fall for the potential of you, but to fall for you as the best mating selection for him. And I'm going to talk to you about later on about how he's able to determine that. How does he determine if you are a better mating selection versus the next woman? Because some of you have had your heart broken. You've been with a man and you were perfect on paper. How many of you know what I'm talking about? You've been with a man and y'all were great together. You had a great time and great conversations. You matched each other. You were doing well in your career. He was doing well in his career. You both loved being around each other. However, y'all broke up and he turned around and got married like 3 months later and chose somebody else. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? Or you know somebody that has happened to. Okay? A man does not choose you based on even loving you. He does not. That is something that's always so surprising for a woman. Okay? He does not choose you based on if he loves you or not, ma'am. That's a woman thing. That's not a man thing. Does he need to love you for the most part because of society and the way we've been brainwashed nowadays? Yes. However, that is not the sole thing a man needs in order for him to love her. As a matter of fact, he will love the woman who he thinks it makes sense to be with. He will choose to marry her. He can be madly in love with one woman and then choose the woman that he's bonded with and who makes sense to be with on paper. And when I say makes sense to be with, that means he feels the safest building a future with her, giving her his last name, giving her his heart, raising kids with her, being her husband, who's going to give him the most peace, etc., etc., etc. Okay? And if that biochemical process has not been triggered or initiated, then you're going to set yourself up for disappointment, because it doesn't matter anything of what he says. How are you designed to fall fast? Well, when you meet him and he's smelling good and he's saying all the right things and he's cute, your body starts to produce oxytocin like that. And oxytocin is your bonding hormone. You produce norepinephrine. Norepinephrine shuts down your frontal lobe. That means that you remove the fear factor. You're more likely to be willing and open to talk to him. Your whole brain is designed to let him in. You lower your guard. You are more likely to trust him the more attracted you are to him. And then the more you're ovulating, the more likely you are to choose the man who's the player. Okay? I didn't design it that way, ma'am. Okay? I'm not God. I didn't engineer your body. I'm just letting you know the information. You were designed to fall fast. Now, him, according to Don Maslar and multiple studies, it takes a man at minimum 2.5 to 5 months in order to biochemically bond and fall for you. Okay? According to Helen Fisher, there is no such thing as love at first sight. Don't let a man come in your face and lie to you. Okay, that didn't sound right. Don't let a man tell you that he's in love with you after only 2 weeks of knowing you. That is not love, ma'am. That is lust, according to the queen herself, the queen anthropologist, Dr. Helen Fisher. He's in lust with you. You have magnificently triggered the testosterone, but he is not in love with you. So with that understanding, you must understand what drives you to behave the way you behave as you move through the 5 phases. The first phase being the attraction phase. If you're the woman who's the ruby woman, the ruby woman is that type A, make it happen, Miss Independent personality. She's like that alpha woman. She's the woman who is usually in a leadership position. Her career is usually the top of the line type of career. She's the type of woman who she likes to take charge. Okay? If you tell her how to do something, she's going to get it done. She's going to make it happen. And she's the type of woman that's willing to work hard in order for her to achieve her goals. On the other side, unfortunately, she tends to attract narcissists and man babies, because the man babies are like, oh, well, she's willing to do it. I'm going to sit back. And a lot of the rubies feel tired. They feel like everybody is always leaning on them, but when they need somebody, they don't really have somebody to lean on. Rubies are also slow to trust. Their circles are usually small. And becoming a ruby is a response to feeling like she wasn't seen enough in childhood, so she had to prove, she had to earn herself. So she's the type of woman that earns love, like she's proving her value, her worth through her ability to succeed and achieve. So narcissists love that type of woman because he is going to tap dance on your biggest and deepest insecurities. Okay? How many women can recognize themselves in the ruby woman? Just put it in the chat for me so I can see how many of you guys are in here. How many rubies do I have? And you're going to see that many of these archetypes, they overlap. Okay? So you might say like, yeah, I see myself in the ruby, but I also see myself in the amethyst too. Okay? How many rubies do I have? The biggest fear of a ruby is not necessarily getting her heart broken. Okay? Biggest fear for a ruby is her not being able to trust herself. A ruby, worse than any of the other archetypes, cannot stand trusting somebody and being disappointed and feeling like she was wrong. Rubies can't stand that. Okay? Second thing is losing her freedom. You're right, Brittany. That's the second thing. First fear, though, is being wrong and not trusting themselves. Second archetype is the citrine archetype. And the citrine archetype are usually like loving people. They're open door. They let people in their world. They don't really have much discernment. And the citrine woman tends to attract people who are going to abuse her in some way. And when I say abuse, they're mistreating her mentally, emotionally, and oftentimes physically. Citrines are oftentimes abused. Oftentimes they grew up in a household where they witnessed abuse, or they saw abuse, or them themselves were abused. So they tend to attract men who are abusive, whether that's mentally, emotionally, financially, or physically. Then you have the diamond, okay? The diamond woman is the woman that she can be like beautiful, have it going on, but no matter how pretty she is, no matter how much she has it going for herself, no matter what a great person she is, she still thinks that she's not good enough, okay? The diamond, she sees herself as being a piece of coal rather than being a diamond. So then she attracts men who don't see her. They don't see her value. And they're constantly making her feel like she is not good enough because she does not feel like she is good enough. And then we have the empaths. Now we have a lot of people that's empathic. So we have the onyx. They're the empathic woman. They can feel other people's pain. They can sense when people are in trouble. They sympathize with people. Oftentimes, though, onyx have a boundary problem. And they can have a people-pleasing problem. They don't like hurting people's feelings because they wouldn't want to get their feelings hurt. So then when a man comes and he lies to her at first and doesn't even tell her that he's married, but then next thing you know, like she finds out he's married, but he's like, but I really love you and I really care about you, and she's manipulating me and she's doing X, Y, and Z, and then she starts feeling sorry for him and he's pulling on her heartstrings. That's because the onyx woman, to her, she can never imagine doing that to somebody else. So then she's more likely to over trust people and not listen to her instincts. So she tends to attract people who are physically and emotionally unavailable and also narcissists. And then last but certainly not least, we have the amethyst woman. The amethyst woman, she has been violated as a child or even in her adult life. And because she was violated, then she tends to attract the lowest of the low kind of men. It's a wound that continues to attract toxic, dysfunctional relationships. What she's constantly seeking is to feel safe. However, she never feels safe. She falls for the illusion of the man without truly, really knowing that man before she allows him in, and then he becomes a wolf in sheep's clothing. How many people saw themselves in the different archetypes? Okay, now you might be a ruby amethyst. You might be a onyx ruby or onyx amethyst. Those are the archetypes. Now, depending on what your archetype is, it's going to influence the way you're moving through these 5 phases. So then after the attraction phase, then you go into the courting phase. Now, here's where a lot of women seem to slip and fall on aisle 5, unfortunately. Okay? How many of you ever you was talking to somebody, you went on a couple of dates, and the chemistry was so high, and then even though you weren't intending to, one thing led to another, and here you are, oohing and on, and it was a short period of time. How many of you guys know what I'm talking about, ma'am? Just be honest. We're in a no judgment zone. How many of you know what I'm talking about? You slipped and fell on all 5. And that happens in the courting phase, because in the courting phase, he's putting it on so heavy, it feels so good. You are releasing all of those hormones that make you feel a high. You're experiencing a love high, if you will. And so because of that, and you're feeling a false sense of connection, then you're willing to open yourself to this person only to be disappointed later on and realize they weren't who they presented themselves to be. But during the courting phase, that's when he is working overtime, or his biochemistry is working overtime to get it, ma'am. What is it? What is it? Okay? Okay? Remember what we said, what it was. Okay? Your banana split. That's what he's trying to get. And if you delude yourself, ma'am, this is not the space to be delusional. If you delude yourself and tell yourself that it is you that he's madly in love with when he doesn't even know you, again, you're going to get disappointed because he is calling you, texting you, doing all the right things during the courting phase. However, for my boss divas who have been on the love success journey, and they've been following the formula, and they've been learning how men think and how to properly date and how to be able to become soul aligned with the kind of love that they want from an emotionally available, masculine, marriage-minded man, then these type of women are going to move differently. They are not going to be the kind of woman that's going to fall for a man who is just being driven to pursue them because his biochemistry is driving them. They're the kind of women that will allow herself to enjoy the process of being courted. She's very feminine. She allows herself to have a good time, but she has her standards, and he's going to have to prove and show and earn her mind first and then her heart before he ever gets her body. And what happens as she's waiting and dating, because she understands that her time is worth more than money, and she understands that this is the most important aspect of her life. So she's not going to give her exclusivity to one person who hasn't even earned her yet. She's going to date for data, because dating is an interview process. And until he has given her commitment, she doesn't owe him her exclusivity. So as she's dating 3 men at a time, and she's having a life that she's enjoying, she's radiating this extreme sense of self-love and confidence in herself, and she's not operating in fear or in lack, then that starts to trigger in a man a strong desire to want her. She is different. It starts to trigger him thinking about her all the time. It triggers his serotonin to start to drop. And serotonin that drops, it causes him to obsessively think about her. How can I make her happy? I want to know things about her. And they've even done brain studies on men when they're in different phases of falling in love with a woman. So they did a study where they showed men pictures of women, and they were measuring like what parts of his brain lit up. And the part of the brain that lit up for a woman that he doesn't really know was a part that saw an object. Did y'all hear me? The part of his brain that lit up was the part of his brain that lights up when he sees a dog, a cat that he doesn't even know, ma'am. A fish sandwich, a hamburger, some French fries, ma'am, a cheesecake. That's it, ma'am. The same part of his brain that when he's looking at a computer screen that lights up is the same one that lights up when he's seeing you, no matter how beautiful you are, no matter how great you are, or how funny you are. That is not what's moving you to the part of his brain that sees somebody that he's bonded with, that he cares about, that he considers essentially part of his world. Do you tell a man that you're dating multiple people? First of all, you don't owe him an explanation, baby. You're single. Okay? And if he's asking and he's not asking because he intends to commit to you. He's asking because he wants to control you. He doesn't have a right to do that. You're a free agent. The same way, if you're looking for a job, you have a right to interview at multiple jobs until one of them jobs hires you. This is the reason why you should not be dating and having sex with anybody. Okay? There's so many things wrong and that will go wrong for you if you are having sex while you're dating. That's yours. He should be the one doing the work in order to show you why he is worthy of your consideration. Why? Why should you let him in? Because according to Llewellyn Brizendine, in every species, whoever is the one who has the greatest to lose in producing an offspring is the one that's supposed to be pursued and has the highest value. So, in our human species, as a woman, you are the one that has the highest value because having a child causes the greatest cost to you and the biggest risk to you. And for that reason, we've been biochemically wired that a man who finds his wife, he shall find his wife. He shall do the pursuing and the earning and showing you why you should consider him. And as he is pursuing you, as he is trying to earn you, biochemically, his body starts to bond to you. And this is what happens. His testosterone starts to drop. His testosterone dropping, who understands what that means when a man's testosterone is dropping? Why is it dropping as he's falling for you? Can somebody put that in the chat? Why would God make it so that the testosterone is dropping and decreasing as he starts to fall in love with you? You said, should you go ahead and put your answer in the chat if you know? Should it be upfront with them that you're not giving away the cookies? Jennifer, again, that doesn't even need to be on your mind. You don't owe them your cookies, baby. You don't owe them that. You don't owe them any explanation. All you need to be is your divinely confident, beautiful self. And I understand that a lot of women, they simply need the right guidance in order to get there. They have no idea how to date. They have no idea what to look for, what to ask for. They don't have any idea how to become aligned energetically to rewrite their blueprint so that they can be able to receive that highest level of love. However, when you get there, you will just move in a way where you understand that you don't owe them anything at all. So the testosterone dropping means because he's starting to think reasonable so he can make children, so he can't make children with anybody else. His heart is softening towards you, so he stops chasing other women, so he won't want anyone else because his vasopressin is increasing. He is ready for a commitment. He's becoming more nurturing. Some of you guys, I already know y'all been on my live. You are absolutely right. As his testosterone is dropping, he is eliminating the desire to want anybody else. Ladies, listen to me, okay? If you're dating a man and you guys have been going on dates for about 2 months plus, and he's not starting to have the conversation of his intentions to want to be in an exclusive relationship with you, baby, he's not falling for you. Biochemically, he's not falling for you. He's still keeping his options open. He's still looking for better. If you have been in a committed relationship for longer than 2 years and he hasn't started talking about his intentions within that time, really within a year, of his desire to want to marry you, he's not biochemically falling for you, okay? If he has not had the conversation and proposed in 2 years, and I'm not talking about if you're younger than 30. If you're younger than 30, you're still trying to get your life together, you're not included in that. I'm talking about grown folks, okay? If you're 30 and over and you've been with a man and y'all are supposed to be exclusive and y'all been in a relationship and he has not declared his intention for marrying you and or made moves, taken action so that he can be able to propose to you, then baby, he has his options open. And if he married you, that's because he's settled. Argue with your daddy, not me, okay? Let it sizzle in your spirit. I know you're not going to like this too much, but it's true. He's settled. And for a lot of women who had the men who made them wait 5, 6, 7, 10 years before they got married, ask them. They'll tell you. They tell you how their man treated them, how he cheated on them, how he didn't value them. And I'm not talking about you started dating in college and then, you didn't get married until you got out of college and graduated. That's a completely different situation, okay? Understand when a man's just using you as a placeholder versus he's biochemically bonding to you. Because when he's biochemically bonding to you, he's going to demonstrate certain behaviors. If it's only been a month and he is trying to commit to you, he's a narcissist. If he tries to commit to you and it's been a month or less, then he is a narcissist. Okay? Period. He's trying to hurry you along to enter into a committed relationship with him before he lets his hair down and show you who he really is. But he wants to get you emotionally hooked. He wants to get you emotionally hooked. It takes a man 2.5 months minimum, according to Don Maslar, for him to start to produce the vasopressin receptors to start bonding with you. And that's another thing that he's producing as he's falling for you. He's dropping in testosterone, he's dropping in serotonin, and he's producing the vasopressin and vasopressin receptors. So if you have sex with him before he's had a chance to produce the vasopressin receptors, and this isn't Shay, this is the studies that have shown that, you are actually impeding his vasopressin 1A receptor from upregulating. Let me say that in layman terms. That means that you are having sex with him too soon stops the process of him producing what catches the vasopressin so that he can actually bond to you. So the sooner he's having sex, the less likely he is to bond, the more likely he is to be a poor husband and a poor father. Having one night stands can literally ruin your life. Okay? Literally. It can ruin the potential of the relationship. It can ruin what type of father your kids have. It can ruin what type of husband you have. They do not benefit you. Period. What's the question? A month isn't even very long to get to know somebody. Absolutely not. Is it the woman's responsibility to make that a requirement, or does the man have to initiate it? To make what a requirement? That you are waiting before you have sex? Clarify for me what's the question before I keep going. What is it about a month? I've always said that if a man isn't talking long term in 1 year, he's not for you. He's not. Period. Okay. Someone asked if the science applies to seniors. Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't tell you how many seniors who, there's so many that I have to say about this, okay? And because I'm a Sagittarius, I'm just going to say it because I'm in that mood today. There was once this lady, and she was about 62, and she started dating, and she came to me for advice and for help, and she had been divorced for many years, and she was tired of being single, and she met this man, and the man, he was like supposed to be well-to-do, have a lot of money, own like a lot of houses, you know, just all this other stuff. And they started dating, and after a month of dating, then he proposed to her, like he wanted to marry her. And she came to me and asked me what I thought, and I said, absolutely not. No, ma'am. Don't do it. That's cloudy with a chance of no, ma'am. And she was like, Shay, I'm older. It's different for me. Like, I women like me. And I'm like, ma'am, the last time I checked, you had breasts like a woman and a vajayjay like a woman. You are a woman. You're biochemically built like a woman. And the mating game and bonding works the same in everybody. Whether if you have a uterus or not, it still works the same for everybody because he's still a man. And she was like, I hear you, but my gut says that he's the one, and I'm going to go with that. And at my age, I have enough wisdom to know better. I said, okay. She married this man after knowing him for a month. She moved and left her house and moved in with this man. Only to find out that he was like over $100,000 in debt. The man owned nothing. He was a narcissist. She was absolutely miserable. Like, it took a lot of money, a lot of effort for her to get out of that marriage. At 62, she was going. Can you imagine at 62 still making those kind of decisions? Because she didn't want to listen, and she thought because she was a senior, she didn't have to follow the same formula that I teach to everybody. It doesn't matter your age, ma'am. Okay? Even if you can be from Italy. I have clients from all over the world. It doesn't matter what part of the world you're in. Biology is biology is biology, period. Okay? And if you aren't following this, then you're basically playing Russian roulette with your heart, is what you're doing. Okay? Because here's the thing. After you go through the courting phase, you're going to go through probably the most frustrating phase for most women to experience. And please, for the love of everything holy, stop listening to bad advice on the internet. Most of these women be copying my stuff anyway. And then second of all, they don't understand how you're biochemically wired. They don't know why, the why behind the advice that they're giving. So they're giving bad advice that is set to continue you in dysfunctional patterns that will continue to cause you pain. Because a lot of things they say is that if a man pulls away, he was never interested, he's not that serious. That's a lie. Okay? That's a lie. Biochemically, men go through a pull away phase. Women go through a push away phase. Okay? So the same way that you go through your push away phase, because you go through biochemically, you're designed to test him to see, is he going to be there? Every female species has a version of testing to see if this man, bird, whatever, is going to stay when the going gets tough. So a woman will do the push away phase. A man will go through the pull away phase. What's the pull away phase? Because it's testosterone. Remember I told you earlier when his testosterone is dropping during the courting phase? Because his testosterone is dropping so much, it causes an increase in cortisol. And cortisol is his stress hormone. And as he becomes stressed, not because of you, because you never want to intentionally stress a man out, which is another bad advice that they give you on the internet. Because he's stressed, then he's going to pull back. Men retreat when they get stressed. It's kind of like when they come home from work. How many women have been married? Your husband comes home from work, and the worst thing for you to do is start rattling off a list of things for him to do just when he comes home from work, because he's decompressing from all that cortisol in his body throughout the day. He's done worn out all of his testosterone, and he needs time, according to Dr. John Gray, to have that testosterone to rebound. So the man goes through what's called the pull away phase, and that's where he needs to miss you. He needs to decide, is he willing to take the biochemical plunge with you? What does that mean? When a man, and you want a man to go through the pull away phase. Let me say that again. Ladies, please listen to me. This will save you a lot of frustration and a lot of heartache. Ladies, one of the best lessons that I learned when I was dating was understanding that men aren't like us. They don't date like us. They don't think like us. They aren't built like us. And they don't fall in love like us. Men are not like us. They are built differently. And you want that man to intentionally choose you, not default because he likes what you do for him. You want him to know what it feels like to experience life without you. And when he goes to that pull away phase, he needs to have that. It's called the rubber band. Dr. John Gray calls it the rubber band phase. And you want him to biochemically decide, am I willing to take that plunge with her? Because when he decides that he is willing to take that plunge with you, there are permanent repercussions to that decision. That means that once he falls in love with you and you are that woman, he falls hard, and that is a permanent change to his DNA. It permanently changes the amount of testosterone that he's going to produce. His eyesight is no longer as sharp as it was. All the advantages that come with having high testosterone, that's decreased. That's why men are biochemically wired to fall slow. And that's fine. Because when I was dating, okay? When I was, mama was living her life, and I was putting everything that I'm telling you to the test because I was my very first client. I loved when a man went through the pull away phase. Matter of fact, I would even manufacture the pull away phase. And what do I mean? If he hadn't yet pulled away, I'm going to go on vacation. I'm going to go somewhere, do something with myself, so he can have at least 5 to 7 days of no contact. I'm not talking to him because I'm on a boat somewhere. I'm on a cruise somewhere. Now, I could be at my best friend in Florida's house, but I'm somewhere else because I need him to know what it's like to miss me. Because when a man experiences that, your value in his world goes up. Now, he's like, I don't want to live life without her. I realize that I need her in my world. I want her in my world. As he starts getting a chance to think about all the positive moments with you, he gets a chance to realize that he's actually in love with you. You want him to go through that. You want him to rebound when he goes through that pull away phase. Absolutely. Because when he rebounds, he is 10,000 times better. My husband went through the pull away phase. After he came out of that daggone pull away phase, I got a ring. Okay? I got a ring. And there's so many women that say that over and over and over again. I was so full with my life and doing me that when my husband went through the pull away phase, I wasn't phased one bit. Matter of fact, I encouraged him to. Now, how do you know if it's the pull away phase versus he's just not into you, versus he's playing you? Put it in the chat. Tell me what you think the sign is. Do you believe in attachment love styles like ancient? That's a really good question. Now, I've been doing this for 2 decades. I've helped over 180,000 women to up-level their love lives, and I've been doing this for a long time. And people who follow me know that I'm not a fan of the attachment styles, but I will talk about them because it seems like everybody's hooked on self-diagnosing themselves and attributing their toxic trauma and cognitive dissonance to an outside title. So then I will use that to help bring them in so that they can realize that you are not broken. You just have broken patterns that aren't working, and you just simply need to understand how to realign those patterns in order to get the kind of high level love that you really want. Does that answer your question? Because just because you call yourself an attachment style, it's not doing anything. It's not benefiting you. That pattern is there because it was put there based on experiences in the past. And if you understand how to rewrite those experiences so that it aligns with you receiving what it is that you want and operating in the highest version of yourself, then you're no longer that style anymore. But I also believe that your words have power. And whatever you speak over yourself, it shall be so. So if you call yourself something and you keep affirming it, it's going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, that's going to keep you stuck in a pattern that's going to keep leading to pain. So why not affirm that I'm healthy and whole and divinely aligned with my romantic best friend? And if I'm not, I am doing everything I need to do. I am getting the proper guidance so that I can be divinely aligned with my romantic best friend. Not so that I can chase after love, but so that I'm positioned to receive the highest form of love. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. So when he goes through the pull away phase, how do you know if it's not because he's just not that into you? How do you know if this is biochemical versus he's just a Build-A-Bear? How do you know? Right, Brittany. And that's the reason why I created the gemstones for the love archetypes, because the gemstones, with all of their strengths, they allow you to be able to grow and evolve through a 7-step process and stages that allows you to understand how to get to the highest form of love. You're not stuck there in just dysfunctional love. pull away phase versus not into you? What if during the pull away phase he contacts you? Should you answer and talk to him? Jaquay, there's like a whole process for how you respond, and I would love to be able to explain it to you, but we don't have time today. There's a whole process, and the way you respond to him when he comes back after the pull away phase means everything. Everything. A lot of women operate in their fear. They're operating in their low vibrational patterns. And because of that, they end up pushing away somebody who could have been a potential great husband. Matter of fact, I have a story where one of my clients, she started dating this man, and he was like an investment banker, very successful, very, very attractive. And she really liked him, and they really hit it off. And he was like consistent for the first 3 months. And, like he started pulling away like around 2.5, 3 months ish. And when I say pulled away, like he went like 6 days without calling her at all. And she was pissed. And so when he did finally call her, he said, hey, I would love to, I really want to meet you. I want to talk to you. Can I take you out to dinner? So at the time, she told him that she would meet him for dinner. And then she came and saw me. And when she saw me, she was like, Shay, I'm not going to go to dinner. I'm not going to meet him. I'm done. If he really cared about me, he would have never pulled away. He would have never not called the way he did for the past 6 days. So I'm not going to go. And I said to my client, I said, baby, go on the date. She was like, I don't understand. Like, why would you recommend going on a date? I said, trust me, go on the date. I said, during the courting phase, this man was very consistent, right? She was like, right. I said he was making efforts, right? Right. He was constantly taking you to nice places, right? Right. He respected your boundaries. Yep, he did. He was talking about commitment at some point. Yep, he did. Go on the date. Thank God, because I don't work with everybody. I don't. I work with women who they have to have the 3 C's. They have to be consistent, committed, and coachable. And she was coachable, and she went on the date. She's been married to him now 14 years. They have 3 kids. And this woman, every time I see her, she's always like over the moon happy. And I have so many stories of women who their man went through that pull away phase, and she followed what I told her, and now she has amazing men. Now, again, I'm going to say this with a caveat, okay? There's a difference between he's just not that into you, okay? Because when he's not that into you, time will tell you. That means the way he comes back and what he's saying to you will determine if he actually pulled away because it was biochemical and because he was falling for you and or not. Okay? Or he was just playing and he was out in the field doing whatever it is that he wanted to do. And when you understand this, like I'm not in the school of just giving you a fish. That's not what I'm here for, ladies. Listen to me. Every single last one of you guys who are watching me, who are listening to me, you are so powerful. You know what I attribute it to? It's like you're like a fire hose. For many of you, you're the fire hose where the water's coming out with all this power, but it's misdirected, so it's spraying everywhere, getting everything wet, and it's not serving you. It's not focused because of all of the residual blocks that are keeping you misdirected from aligning with the highest level of love. And so this is what I decided to do, because we have been getting like recently, and I don't know if it's because if it's summertime, I don't know if it's because like everybody wants the summer love and they're feeling kind of lonely for the summertime, or they're getting ready for the holidays because they know they need to start now in order for the holidays. But so many of you have been reaching out to my team because you want to work with me directly. And you know how busy I've been with launching the Her Pocket Coach app. And at this point now with the company, I want to, but I don't have any time. So only twice a year do I open up my calendar to actually do a call with you where I will walk through step by step exactly what's blocking you from the love that you want. What are the patterns that are there subconsciously that are sabotaging you? I will do a reading because for those of you who are new to me, I also have the gift of being able to see into people's past, present, or future. I discovered this gift when I was 5 years old. And that is what I use to be able to help my clients to understand exactly like what they need to do in order to meet their romantic best friend. Because I can see your soulmate. I can see if you want to have kids. I can see the kids. I can see exactly what is holding you up and what do you need to do. And then I put together a blueprint so that you understand how can we help you to be able to meet your romantic best friend. Yes, baby. I have the gift of seeing. Okay. It's so funny when people ask me if I'm a Christian. I am beyond a Christian, I would say. Because when I pray in before I do this session with you and I align with God and allow God to move through me, I'm not just Christ-like or enlightened-like. No, I'm divinely aligned with the truth in the one, period. So do with that as you will. Okay? I pray and meditate for over 2 hours twice a day. That's how important it is. And the only reason why I'm here is because I was called in order to be here. So anyway, I can see into people's past, present, or future. And I only open my calendar up twice a year. So this type of year, I love you back. So this is the type, this week is one of the 2 times for the whole year that I'm actually open my calendar up. I only have space for 10 people. I apologize for the people who won't be able to book the reading with me or be able to book a session with me. My team is also available too if you want to be able to have a session. But the type of women that I work with are women who are doers. They're not complainers. They're not talkers. They're not looking for somebody to save them. They're not looking for another reason why they're going to stay in their pain. They don't want to use their pain as an excuse in order to feel important. They are the type of women that they're like, Shay, just show me what I need to do. If I can just know what to do and get the proper guidance, then I will do what I need to do in order to attract the kind of love that I know is waiting for me. Like those are the kind of women that we work with. We work with women who like are high frequency, fun type of women. And if that's you, then go to BookShay.com. And when you go to BookShay, then make sure you answer the questions because that will allow me to get to know you, exactly where you are, and to how to be able to customize the blueprint for you. And I will tell you while we're on the call exactly what is a blueprint. I will tell you if I can further help you or not. Because for some of you, like I'm not the one. Like there's somebody else that's supposed to be able to help you. But for those of you who I am supposed to help and who I can help, then I will also tell you exactly how I can help you too by the end of the session. Oh, Italiana said, working with Shay and having a call is amazing. I love you. I love you. I love you. You said everyone has a gift, but most don't know what their gift and purpose is. First of all, let me just tell you this, y'all. Okay. Let me tell you this. Every single one of you guys have the gift of seeing. Everybody has the gift of seeing. This spiritual gift is a gift that your pineal gland allows you to have. Some people are more tapped into it than others. It's just kind of like how, you know, some people have the gift of singing. Everybody can sing. Some people, their vocal cords are set for them to sing better. And some people with training, they can sing better. With training, you can also learn how to see too. So don't let anybody make you feel like they're the only ones. Not even me. I would never say that. I'm just very in tune with my gift. I've been honing and using my gift for a very, very long time. And with that, it allows me to be able to help people in the space of love. And I only use it when it comes to love, with helping to guide women to understand exactly where is your soulmate? Is he in your timeline? And the way you said I was impressed with your staff prayer before we started our session. Oh, yeah. They already know I don't play. If every single session, they are required to pray in and to pray out, because I don't need them in their ego or me in my ego to come in the middle of your session with God. Like, it's all about, let me move out the way, decrease me, God, so that you may increase within me. You use my body as a vessel to speak to this individual this woman that's before me to help her to align with the soulmate that is waiting for her. So that's the reason why my entire team is required to pray before they do a love mapping call with you. But for those of you who you've been waiting, because some of you guys have emailed my staff like, I've been waiting for Shay to open up her calendar. Some of you have been following me for quite some time and you know that I only open my calendar up twice a year. Then go to BookShay.com and go ahead and book one of the spots. First come, first serve. Once I'm booked up, then that's it. That will be it until next year, February, I think, that I'm going to open up my calendar, possibly. So if that's what you want, then go ahead. He said, I suggest BookShay if you can. Oh, it's so funny. You guys come on the call and you're like, I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. And then I'm like, okay. And then somehow you end up crying. So when you come on the call, just understand that there is absolutely no judgment whatsoever. It's a sacred and safe space. And it's for those of you who are tired of being tired. How many of you guys are just tired of being tired? Like you're tired of not knowing what to do. And you're tired of getting played. And you're tired of thinking that you met somebody who is the right one and he is who he says that he is, and he seemed like he was a good guy and he turns out to be a jerk like the last guy. Like, how many of y'all are just freaking tired? And how many of you guys, this is the worst thing, how many of you are tired of being afraid? Like, you're tired of like constantly being afraid. Like, you know you want love, but you're afraid of trusting somebody, and you're afraid of getting hurt, and you're afraid of getting disappointed again, over again. And then the worst thing is you're afraid of dying alone. If that's like the number one fear when I talk to you guys, that's the part. That's the part that pulls at my heartstrings. That's the part that has me run so hard for y'all, with constantly pouring in energy and time and money and upgrading our program and creating an app that I poured $1.3 million in so that it can be in the best in the world to give you what nobody else, nowhere else can give you. How many of you guys are tired of not being able to trust yourself? Like, you don't trust that you could choose the right person for you. How many of you are there? Like, you don't trust yourself to be able to choose the right person for you because you chose a narcissist, you chose somebody who disappointed you, you chose somebody who lied to you, you chose somebody who betrayed you. You're just tired. Now, out of all of you who said that you were tired and that you wanted more, how many of you guys feel you're a soulmate? Like, you feel that he's close to you and you're willing to do something about it so that you can become so aligned with him. Where are you at? You can feel your soulmate. You feel that he's out there. You don't know what you need to do in order to meet him or find him, but you know that he's there and you just need the right guidance so that you can meet him. Where exactly are you? And you're willing to do something about it and not just complain. Because I swear to goodness, y'all, let me just have like a real conversation with you. I have one of the biggest disappointments that I experienced was a young lady who I did a reading for 8 years ago. And then every year I did a reading for her. And the first time I did a reading for her, I told her what her love blocks are. I told her exactly what she needed to do. I told her, I will help you. You will be engaged in a year if you let me just help you. And she was like, I know. Okay, I'm coming. I promise I'm coming. And every year it was, I'm coming. I promise I'm coming. And then the last time I saw her, it literally brought tears to my eyes. Like, after I finished talking to her, her soulmate shifted out of her timeline. Like, he was gone. I couldn't see her soulmate in her timeline anymore. To the point that when I asked her, I was like, do you still want to meet your soulmate? She had like a tear in her eye and she was like, no, I don't want to meet her soulmate. It's like almost like she gave up a part of her soul. It was so, I can't even tell you. I can't tell you how sad that was. The way I do readings is, because different people have different ways of doing readings. And just so you understand, like the information, everybody can do a reading. The information is all around you. It's already in the atmosphere. It's in the infinite field. For those of you who know about Dr. Joe Dispenza's work, it's there. So it's how you train your pineal gland to be able to tap into that information so that you can be able to know things. So my gift is I can hear people's thoughts. I can see into people's timelines, into their past timeline, into their present timeline, into their future timeline. And in their future timeline, I can see their different timelines. And I usually look up into the 5th timeline if I'm really pushing it. So when I'm looking for somebody's soulmate, then I will look for the first 2 or 3, and each timeline that they're over, then that means that there's more alignment necessary in order for them to be able to receive their soulmate. Now, with that being said, everybody has more than one soulmate. Don't let anybody tell you that you have one soulmate. You don't. And you got to be careful with your words, because I hear a lot of people saying, I want to meet my twin flame. I want to marry my twin flame. Okay, watch what you ask for, because your twin flame is not who you're supposed to spend your life with. Your twin flame prepares you for your soulmate. Okay? That's what your twin flame's for. Your twin flame is to prepare you for your soulmate. So you want to meet your soulmate, and you want to make sure that you're aligned with being able to receive your soulmate. So when I do a reading, I look through the timeline to see exactly like, where is your soulmate? What is it? What version of you needs to show up in order to receive that soulmate? And then how can I guide you? Like, what are the things I need to give you? What guidance do you need in order for you to be able to align with them and receive them? And then if you want kids, then I see like how many kids. I'm not the one getting you pregnant, but I will see the kids that I can see. And when it comes to the kids, I'm usually wrong about the sex, but not the number. I don't know what it is. Okay? If I tell you I see a girl, you having a boy. If I say you having a boy, you having a girl. If I say you having 2 girls and a boy, then you having 2 boys and a girl. I don't know what it is. It's always like that. Anyway, I'm dealing with the worst situation, dealing with my ex, and we work together. We see each other every day, and we make up and break up. I'm just sick of it. I'm in the pull away phase at this point. We went out 6 months without physical contact. We went out 6 months without physical contact, but we reconnected again. But I'm more distant because I don't want to get hurt. It's the worst feeling ever. Baby, that's not the pull away phase. And this is why I need you guys to understand the difference between the pull away phase and it's not the one phase. That's not your soulmate. That's not the pull away phase. You're in a trauma bond is what you're in. Okay? You're in a trauma bond, and you're a magnet to this toxic relationship. And what I'm even seeing in your situation is this situation has been going on for quite some time. And that when you let go of this situation, which I see that you will, it's going to take a lot, because you've been in and out with him. Okay? Even when you try to move on with other people, he's the one that's there, like in your heart, if you would. Then you're going to keep coming back to him and keep wasting time, and or constantly be on this cycle with people who are emotionally unavailable. He's emotionally unavailable for you, baby, because you are also emotionally unavailable. Because the truth of the matter is that, well, let me get your permission first before I even start doing a reading on you. Okay? Let me make sure I have your permission before I even say anything else. The example of a relationship, a healthy relationship, wasn't too appealing to you. So you want love, but you don't want what you've witnessed. You want love, but you don't want what you witness. And because of that, you're constantly in this push-pull situation, and then you allow people who can't really love you or give you a healthy relationship in your world. Cindy, does that make sense? Victoria, go to BookShay.com. Okay? Go to BookShay.com. How do you feel about military men? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. No. And I'm saying this as my husband was in the Air Force and my son just went into the Air Force. My dad was in the Army. Like, I have so many people in the military. And no, if he's actively in the military, no, ma'am. No. Nope. Same way with police officers, there are no ma'am. Okay. Surgeons, no. Nope. I can go through the careers who are more likely to be divorceable. It's a no. So Cindy, here's the thing that you got to do, okay? You got to rewire your blueprint so that you can be able to have healthy love come into your world. And this goes beyond therapy. This goes beyond therapy. But the moment that you rewire it, the thing that I see with you is your soulmate is on the edge of your timeline. He's like literally right there in your field. The moment it's for you, I see it's going to be fast. Like, your soulmate's going to come to you fast because he's been bumping up against the edge of your energetic field for so long, your auric field for so long, that as soon as you clear it, then you're gonna meet him quickly. It's not gonna be a long time at all. If he says, Angela, he's not done yet. He's not done. It ended about a week ago, but he's coming back. Okay? And if you end up back, do you have kids with him, Angela? First of all, do you have kids, period? Do you have kids, period? Because I'm picking up on kids with you. If he says you deserve better than what I'm able to give you, do you take that face value and get? If a man ever tells you you deserve better than what he's giving you, ma'am, please listen and run. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200, ma'am. It's a no, ma'am. Okay? It's a hickory dickory dock, no, ma'am. Don't go back. Okay? He's telling you. He's telling you. And trust me, he's not lying to himself. He means it. It's to absolve his ego. Is there such thing as them being too keen at the start? You mean like too into you in the beginning? Amy, is it? Amy, you have what I'm seeing is you have a pattern of what I call the firework relationship. That's when it's like the excitement in the beginning and then it fizzles out, baby. That's a pattern that needs to be rewired. Do you see a soulmate for me in one of my timelines? September, I do. Absolutely, I do. But I also feel that your throat chakra was blocked, and I also feel that your heart is blocked too. Like there's some disappointments that you've experienced that keeps you constantly keeping people just but so close to you, not close enough in order to hurt you. Okay? And that's what's keeping your soulmate away from you. Your soulmate's in your timeline. Should a woman be open to a man who has a very small child? It depends if that's for you. Like for some women, it's not for them. But it depends on what stage, where you're at in your life. Do you have kids? Do you not have kids? what child, and the fact that it ended while the child was small, that says a lot, because it takes a lot for a woman to divorce you or to walk away from you while having a small child. So I'm like, what's wrong with you? What's happening? Let's see. Thoughts on intuition. It looks good, but feels like he's hiding something. Then, baby, listen to that. He's hiding something. Okay? He's hiding something. And if I can tell you what I'm seeing, I will give you a hint, but I'm not going to say it all the way. Ariana, you said you don't know if you're with the right guy. Ma'am. Ma'am. The problem is that you don't listen to yourself. And you have a tendency to close your eyes when the truth is in front of you. And because you like to lie to yourself and you don't like to admit what's in front of you, then you start to trick your own self. And so your intuition, that voice, that quiet, small voice inside of you, done got real quiet. But you know that man is not your guy. Okay? Alicia, baby, BookShay.com. You said you know my stone and I'm part of the Picket Diva. Can I still get a reading? You said I don't understand, Rhonda. I don't know what you just asked. Boyfriend broke up with me over 7 months ago and I'm still heartbroken. I haven't reached out, but I am so tempted every night. I know he's not the one for me. I just wish I could get over him so I could move on. You're not addicted to him. You're addicted to what you thought you were getting that you missed when you were younger. I'm going to say that again. You're not addicted to your boyfriend. You're addicted to what you lost, what you think you lost, that you needed when you were younger. You're not addicted to him. There's an illusion. There was an illusion of him and what he could give you. And you were way more into him than he was into you, because the image of him, the idea or the perception of him, represented somebody significant in your world who didn't give you the love, attention, validation, etc. that you wanted and that you needed. What are your thoughts about men pulling away but wanting to text you? Yeah, because he doesn't want you, but he doesn't want anybody else to. So he's energetically occupying your space. That's why he's doing that. Okay, he's energetically hijacking you, if you will. He's keeping you energetically hooked. You're what's called the layaway girl. He's playing with you. Italiana, here's the thing, baby. When you make your mind up to something, then you make your mind up and you're all in it. However, in the love space, it's kind of like you remind me of the toe dabbler. There's something there. It's almost like when I was younger, every night before I went to bed, my dad would have to beat up the boogeyman in the closet. And he would legit every single night go in the closet and beat himself up because I couldn't go to sleep unless he beat up the boogeyman. And then one day my brother dared me, and he was like, I dare you to open the closet at night and see the boogeyman. And because it was there, I did it. And then when I opened the closet, the boogeyman wasn't there. But the whole time, an invisible boogeyman was holding me hostage. And that's what I see that's going on with you. Keela, baby, you are literally one call away from you completely changing all that. You just need the right guidance, baby. Logically, I know I deserve better. My behavior and patterns show otherwise. How do I find the root? I don't want to lose hope. What we do in the process, thank you, Lipbug. What we do for our students is first we help them to become energetically aligned with the love that they want by first removing what's blocking them and helping them to be able to, it's like turning a knob, to be able to align with what was thrown out of balance based on past experiences, childhood traumas, etc. Right? The second thing we do in the whole process is we help her to increase her feminine energy so that she can attract the highest level of a masculine, marriage-minded, high-value man who is vibrating at the highest frequency for her. And then we help her to rewire her subconscious mind so that she is able to attract and receive this high level love, because your subconscious mind and your nervous system is programmed to attract the toxic relationships and experiences that you've been experiencing. So it's not until you can have the proper tools to rewire this and your nervous system that you will actually allow love in. So we make sure that our students get that they get that process of being able to combine left brain and right brain training and emotional and energetic healing and neurolinguistic programming. And there's all kinds of different things that we're doing, like positive hypnotherapy. There's different things that we're doing in order to help them to rewire their subconscious mind and nervous system. And then we give them the tools on how exactly are you to date so that you're not wondering. You don't have to think about it. You know, step by step, this is the red flag. This is the green flag. This is a good guy. This is not the good guy for you. This is how you want to move. This is how you want to align. And then we allow you to see like how you're progressing so you don't have to guess it. Because some people will start like therapy or they'll start a coaching program and they like feel better, but they don't know like what's the chances that when you go out there and you get in a relationship that it's going to work. Well, we created a love success assessment that's broken down with science and high level mathematics that breaks down to the percentage, the likelihood that your relationship is going to work. So based on what stage you're at, based on certain customized questions using AI, then we're able to determine like what's the likelihood that your marriage, if you got married 6 months from now, that it's going to work or not. And for many people, the likelihood that their marriage is going to work is less than 30%. So rather than start dating when your odds are against you, why not make sure that you're aligned with the highest level of love? Why not know where is your feminine energy level? Like how blocked are you? Like how much do you need to really realign so that you know where you are? And I think that's the thing that so many women are seeking. They want to know like, am I getting better? How better am I getting? How many steps do I have to go? What do I need to do? Like, give me the tools and the guidance. I don't need anybody to handhold me. I don't need anybody to babysit me. I just need the right guidance. Maybe the right coaching that can help me pull back what I'm not seeing. But once I get it and get into the right environment and have the right guidance, then I know I'm going to be able to achieve my desired results. Those are the kind of women that we work with. And those women, they have a 98% success rate for being able to completely transform their lives and have the tools to attract the love that they want. Their whole lives completely transform. So if that's what you're looking for, if you want help with that, if you want help with achieving the highest level of high frequency love with your romantic best friend, then that's what we do at Shay Better, and we'll be happy to help you. But remember, you need to be the kind of woman who's willing to take accountability for yourself. If you're willing to do the work, we have the formula to get you where it is that you want to go. You said, do you think you'll be able to help me prepare for my soulmate? I'm feeling the loss of my narcissist and I don't know how to shake this feeling. Angela, if you're coachable, consistent, and committed, there's absolutely no way. It's harder for you to fail. Okay? That's how comprehensive our program is. It's harder for you to fail than for you to get the results. It's so much easier for you to get the results. You just have to be in the right environment, which is why so many women come to us. So many women, like our calendars say booked, and so many women want our help because they know that we have high results. They know we're comprehensive. They know we're the highest level in the coaching, in relationship coaching industry. So, and what we do goes way beyond just coaching. And if that's you, like usually your spirit will tell you if you are aligned with getting our help. And if that's the case, if you want to sit down and talk to me and help me to guide you like in how we can help you, then go to BookShay.com. If you want to work with one of my love specialists, because if you book me, then it's going to be $4.99. Okay. Normally my clients pay me $20,000 an hour. This is what happens when you're the Bentley of coaching and transformation. My clients, they end up like doubling and tripling their income and having the best life. So they're willing to invest that in themselves in order to work with me. If you just want to talk to me and you're like, well, I don't know if I want to like pay $100,000, like I'm more in the 50,000, 30,000 or what have you, I still want to talk to you, Shay, then go ahead, book a call. If you want to talk to my staff, my love specialist, then go to the lovemappingcall.com. Okay? You can go to lovemappingcall.com. You can book with one of my love specialists, and it's $97. They will sit down, do a love mapping call with you, give you a blueprint on how we can help you to be able to heal what's blocking you from the love that you want and attract your romantic best friend. I've invested in everything else except myself. You know, it's so funny that Tayana, I just love you. Thank you, baby. She was like, I booked Shay, and Shay is so special and worth every dollar. Thank you, babe. Here's what, and I love that, like, there's more, like, intimate. It feels more intimate with the women that's on here, because I know every woman that's on here, like, you ain't just about talk. Like, there's something in your spirit of why you're still here and why you're talking to me. So I'm just going to keep it absolutely real with you. This is what I found, right? Just working with so many different women, that I used to work with men. I used to coach men. I used to matchmake men. I felt like it was energetically out of alignment when I was working with men. So I stopped working with and matchmaking men. But what I found is just working with men and then also being business organizations with men, is that men, based on how they've been raised and based on society, is that they have no problem thinking about themselves first. They have no problem investing in themselves first. It was so much easier when I was working with men, because with a man, if I told him my prices, a man was like, okay, wiring it in the morning. Like, this isn't a problem. But with women, it's not about them being able to invest in themselves. It's about them finding it worthy for them to invest in themselves. Because a woman will invest in her children. She would even give her friend, if she knew her friend needed money for a heart transplant to live, or somebody that really needed it, or an emergency, she's going to give to everybody else except investing in herself. And the crazy thing about it is that when you're not willing to invest in yourself, you're telling the universe, I'm not worthy of investing in myself. You're sending that energy to men. I'm not worthy of being invested in financially and physically, emotionally, mentally. I'm not worthy. And then we are surprised when we're treated like we're a second class. The best thing that I did, and I went from being on food stamps and homeless to being able to build an empire. And how I did that was investing in myself. And I'm so glad that I learned early on, when I was experiencing all the disillusionment, when I was getting my heart broken and getting played. And y'all, when I tell you I got played, I got played. Whatever your story is, multiply it by 1,000. And if you read my book, you already know. I got played. And I worked with a coach, and a coach helped me to get it together. And then I combined a lot of the things that I learned in order to be able to do better. When it came to my business, I hired a coach, and a coach helped me to be able to elevate my business to becoming a millionaire. Like, every part of my life that has been important to me, I always invested in a coach. For my body, I have a coach that I work out with 3 times a week in order for me to make sure that I can maintain my body. The best investment that I can tell you from woman to woman, whether if that's with me, because listen, I'm going to say this again, okay? I'm not for everybody. I'm not. We don't say yes to everybody. We don't work with everybody. I'm not for everybody. However, the people that I'm for, then because of what we have in place, they get extraordinary results. So I'm saying this to you with love, passionately, that whether if it's with me or whoever you resonate with, make sure that you invest in you, especially in your love life and whoever you work with. If I'm not the person that you trust or you resonate with Shay Better helping you, whoever you work with, make sure they have the credentials. Make sure that they're a soul aligned business that is going to help you to soul align with your romantic best friend, rewire your subconscious mind and your nervous system, that they can give you the tools. They're not going to just give you generic dating advice, tell you to go calling men and chasing men and doing all that. But they help you to work internally to become aligned with the highest love that you want first. Make sure that they have the credentials, that they are certified in order to provide the results that you're seeking. And make sure that you're energetically aligned. They're not just all talk. You can go to Google and you can read their testimonials. You can see people's lives being transformed, not just finding love, because it's easy to put a picture up with a woman with a guy saying, hey, I found love. Like, that's not the prize. Okay. You want women who are so happy with themselves that they transform, because you know the love part is a side effect. You know they can find love when they find them, when they become the partner that they're seeking. Like, look for those type of testimonials. But if there's anything, I love you back, Meredith. But if there's anything that I can tell you, like woman to woman, just make sure that you are willing, just as much as men are willing to invest in themselves, like make sure you're willing to invest in yourself too. Because it will save you a whole lot of money, it will save you a whole lot of heartache, and it will save you a whole lot of time. You're not saving money by putting yourself as the last priority to invest in. You buy your house, you buy your car, when you're the house and you're the car that you have to take through your life and through your world. It makes no sense. And this reminds me of, and this is going to be my last story. So I worked with a young lady. Her name is Sherry. And Sherry, she was a big influencer and she used to sell clothes. And Sherry just had such a beautiful spirit. And I met Sherry at one of my high teas with Shay. I used to do like this live event and women would come and I would train and teach, and there would be so much powerful healing and transformation, and it was amazing. And Sherry came to this event, and I remember Sherry booked a call with me, like the call that I'm inviting you that I only do twice a year. Sherry booked the call with me, and when she sat down, she was like, I don't know, like this is a lot of money. I don't want to really invest in myself. And I was like, girl, stop. Yes, you do. Go ahead and invest in yourself. You put money in your car. You put money in the house, but you don't put money in the house and the car that is you, that you take through your life. And so Sherry was like, you know what? Like, I never really thought about it like that. Like, I can't believe that I make my house, buying my house, a bigger priority than me when I've been existing in this frustration of not being able to get the most important aspect of my life right. So then I started working with Sherry, and Sherry started doing the work, and Sherry was able to find who she said was her soulmate. And 6 months, was it 6 months or 8 months after she met her soulmate, Sherry passed away. And one of the things that Sherry said to me, she said before she passed away, she thanked me because she was like, Shay, I might have left this world without ever experiencing love if it wasn't for you. If it wasn't for the program that you offer us women. And I want to say thank you. At the time, I didn't know that Sherry was going to pass away, but this is the reason why I'm here, and this is why I do what I do. I think as women, we take for granted tomorrow, and we think that we're always going to have tomorrow. The only thing we can count on is that we have today. And if you start saying yes to yourself today, then your tomorrow will say yes to you. Ladies, if you get nothing else from me, remember, you are the prize. You've always been the prize. And when you can see that and you so align with becoming that, then the right person will rise up and claim you as the prize you've always been. I love you. God bless you. Thank you for all of the follows. Thank you for all the likes and supporting everything that I do. And I will see you on the inside. Love you. Have a good night, ladies.